Good day, moms. This is Althea, your feng shui coach and expert, back with you, talking this week about the fire element and how fire people relate to clutter, how imbalances can show up in the body, and when there are, might be a good time in your life to work on the fire element in your home. So today I'll be talking about fire people and how clutter may show up in a fire person's life. So the strengths of fire people, well, they bring the fire. They're very heart-centered, bold, vibrant, full of passion. They're very strongly connected to their intuition because they're very much all about the here and now. So they're very in tune, I'd say, with following their needs, following their impulses. They tend to make great artists, and they just exude that passion, and people are very easily drawn to the fire personality type. And they come from the heart, and so they have a deep understanding of people's emotions as well. And they're all about celebration. So in their homes, they love to have things on display, and you might see that fire people tend to hold on to things in a sentimental way. So it could be collections, it could be collections of photos, it could be collections of objects from, from a family member who's passed on. It could be paraphernalia, like whatever it is that may light that person up. They may be drawn to collecting a lot of these things. Or if, let's say, you're an artist and you're making art, those collections of your art start to build up. I know I grew up with my mom as an artist, and we had, pottery that she made all over the kitchen table, and we couldn't even use the kitchen table because it was just filled with her pottery. Her artwork was on display all over the home. And actually, she was definitely one of these fire types. She loved kind of being the center of attention. She was just boisterous. She loved to laugh and tell stories and kind of make herself really big in the stories, right? So she just had this way of drawing people to her, and she was very charismatic. So she was actually, I didn't even think about this before I made the video, but she was a very good example of a fire type person. And clutter would build up for her very easily because she would just kind of like be going from kind of the one thing to the next, and the mess would kind of just be left behind, right? But it was all stuff that was centered around what brought her joy. So it could be poetry, it could be pottery, it could be painting. All of these things lit her up, but they actually formed a sense of visual clutter all around the home that just really didn't get dealt with. And so for the fire person, that may be the challenge, is like constantly kind of in this creation mode or this collection mode, with kind of a fear of looking into the future, so the ability to let go of items that mean a lot could bring up a fear. Especially, it's like hard for the fire person to think about, well, what's going to happen with this space when I let these things go? That's going to make me want to do it, right? Because everything's all about now. And so that's where the challenge comes for the fire person, who has kind of an abundance of all of these things that they love. And in order to be able to function more fully and not feel stuck, sometimes there is the need to let go of some of those items, because you can't even really appreciate what's really there, the things that you actually love, because there's just so many of them. Um, and so what helps the fire person release sentimental items? I mean, they might actually get into the idea at first of, oh yeah, let me just go through all of my things, um, and I'll let things go. But then they start to go through their things and see, oh, I can't let go of that. Like that was really special, and it reminds me of that special time, when I was in this class, or when I met so and so. Like, so they start to remind themselves of all the stories associated with this item, and they end up just kind of like going through all of the things, and they're spread everywhere, and then everything kind of just gets put back. Maybe one thing, maybe one thing gets let go of. Um, so that is part of the challenge. If you're a fire person, you you might have a really difficult time with that. Um, and so what can help? What can help? Sometimes for fire people, they love celebration, right? You love to make a ceremony out of something. So this could be a way of helping the fire person to release objects, is to bring some kind of ceremony into it, and actually allow the fire person to be, to imagine what the ceremony would be like, to be the creator of the ceremony. Now, it could be something drawn from a personal tradition that you follow. It could be something like putting on music and, dancing your heart's desire, and feeling how full your heart is, and letting that be the inspiration to let go of some of these items, to know that your heart is still going to be full, and your home will still be full of beautiful things. It's just that you don't need to have all of them. So bring in some kind of ceremony, maybe bring in flowers before the ritual even begins, because that could like ignite, right? We don't have to wait till the end to bring in something enjoyable. It could be bringing in the orange scents, right? Because that's the yang smell of orange. That's igniting that fire, igniting that passion, and reminding the fire person that their passion is still there, even if they let go of some of their things. The fire person might also need somebody to support them and be there with them as they go through the items. Just allow themselves to feel the feelings, right? If you're a fire person, you could just allow yourself to feel the feelings of letting go of the items. Like, you could do the Marie Kondo style of thanking the item for its purpose in your life, and blessing it, and even thinking about who this item will go to. So it becomes a very heart-centered approach. If there are things that you want to let go of and it's really challenging, maybe thinking about who could receive this item and benefit from it. That could be another way of ritualizing this process. So bringing in the flowers, dancing, putting on music that has to do with letting go, that may still be joyful, and bringing in a support person. Could be a dear friend or loved one who really has your best interest in heart, and can ask you the question, like, does this serve you now? Does this bring you joy? Does this still really light you up? Because you want to be lit up, right? And you want to feel good in your space. So I'd say that's all for now. I hope that you gain some insight. If you are a fire person, or if you know a fire person, this is just another way of understanding how clutter can form for just different personality types. So let me know in the comments below if you identify as a fire person, if you see some of yourself in how you may be holding on to items, or if you know anybody who may be a fire person who does this. And how are you at letting go of sentimental items? All right, well, have a beautiful day, mamas, and I'll see you next time.